your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
Like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Fucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Fucking like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Well, we got a few things, but anyway, Mikey says who that? They're going to beat them Saints. That's right. Who that said? And the Saints, 24 seconds remaining on the clock, man. We're going to look like we're going to take this thing. And that's doubly good because the Colts, right now, we're going to beat the Colts. Saints snap a 2-game losing streak. And they get back up to 500. They're 4-4. The Falcons right now are losing to the Tennessee Titans, 28-23. And matter of fact, that's the end of the game. So the Falcons lost 2. So the Falcons lost 28-23 to the Titans. They are now 4-4. Short-lived at top of the division. And we'll go over that after we go over the team stats. All right, from the 25-yard line of shotgun, Gardner Minshew with the ball, and he throws it to out of bounds. Nobody's there. That'll bring up we got about 19 seconds remaining. Minshew it did pretty well, man. I ain't gonna lie. Today, the Saints finally were able to see some opportunities. We gave them way too much. To make them look a certain kind of way, but in the end, the Saints offense kind of did this thing. The Saints offense did this thing in this one, man. Thanks to the running game, and a running game was big for us. 2 wide receivers to the left and right of the formation. There's the shotgun play. Minshew out. Ball's thrown to Pittman. He's wrapped up, thrown down by number 29, Paulson Adebo. So, and that's going to pretty much put the game over with less than 10 seconds before it is, and they're going to try to run one final play, and there's a snap. Minshew looking, and he's going to throw it. Ball flips out. Intercept that. No, he dropped it all. He had an opportunity. Hugo Amadi looked like, and I thought he looked like he might have had it, but it's not an interception. 38-27, Saints get the final, man, in the game. So we get it. I thought he almost had a chance to pull that thing in, man. So the Saints in the game, we get the victory. The Saints are now 4-4 on the season. All right, so very positive. Let's kind of jump into the team statistics, family. We'll get into that. All the family members that's currently in the stream, y'all stay right where y'all are. We're going to bring up the post-game show. Usually when the Saints win, you're going to see everybody. I mean, you're going to have like 7 people that run up to the podium that going to want to talk to you today. We're going to get a prayer from Demario Davis. He ain't going to want to talk about the game, but he's going to pray for you. And then we going to get all kind of stuff going on. So y'all stay with us. We're going to cover that live here and jump right to it when it becomes available. All right. We also going to let Pops Q tune in here momentarily. After we go to the statistics, we're going to have him to chime in to get his thoughts on the game. All right, here we go, fam. Let's jump right into it. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all, man, for being here. Give me a second, Brent. I'm going to go over your Cash App momentarily. All right, and this is what it looks like, man, in the team statistics today. The final stats, Saints 24-19 in terms of the first down. Saints was 6 of 12 on third down. Colts was 7 of 16. Total plays, Saints had 66 versus 67 by the Colts. 511 total yards of offense by the Saints today versus 371 by the Colts. You look at the drives, 12-12. The Saints averaged over 8 yards per play. The Colts 5.5. Saints passing yards, 350 yards passing combined. Derek Carr and Taysom Hill in the matchup. The rushing attack, 161 yards rushing for the Saints today on 36 rushing attempts. 36 rushing attempts today. The Saints, and I'm going to tell y'all, and we talked about this, the Saints, I think this is the best running performance that we've had up to this season right now. The Saints had 161 rushing yards off of 36 carries for 4.5 yards per run. The Colts, 164 off of 24 rushing attempts. They averaged 7 yards today. Red zone, Saints were money in the red zone. They were 3 or 4 in the red zone versus 2 and 3 by the Colts. The penalties, 8 penalties for 73 yards, 6 for 30 yards by the Colts. You look at the time of possession, 30-09 versus 29-51 by the Colts. The big team statistics that stick out to me in the matchup was the fact that the Saints had 36 rushing attempts versus 29 passing attempts. You get it? The Saints ran the ball more than they passed the ball. 29 passing attempts versus 36 rushing attempts. When the Saints did that before against the Patriots, they had big success. The Saints went back to what worked. Everybody was involved in a running attack. Taysom, Elvin, Kendra, Jamal, all of them were running the ball today, and it was tough for the Indianapolis Colts to do any damn thing about that, man. Let me tell you something. It was tough. Anyway, let's jump right into the individual statistics. We're going to go over that here. Derek Carr finished 19-27 for 310 yards, 11.5 yards per move in that play. 19-27 for 310, 2 touchdowns. He averaged 11.5 yards per throw. He was sacked one time, which he gave up a fumble on, but the rating was 133.3. Taysom was 1 for 2 for 44 yards in the game with a rating of almost 96%. Taysom Hill led the team in rushing today. 9 carries for 63 yards. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, 7 yards on the rush. Alvin Kamara, 17 carries for 59 yards. He had a touchdown in the game. Jamal Williams, 6 carries for 30 yards. Jamal Williams averaged 5 yards per run. Kamara averaged just 3.5, and Kendra Miller had 3 rushes for 10 yards for 3.3. The point of the matter is the Saints use all of their running backs, all of them. Elvin, Jamal, Kendra, and Taysom was too much for the Colts. This would have been a much bigger blowout of the game if the defense would have did what they were supposed to do. It's a lot closer because the defense was doing crap stuff. The defense allowed 10 points in the back of this game they should never have allowed. Actually, more than that. I think it was 13 points that they should never allow. I don't know what's going on there, but they got to clean that up. Rashid Shaheed, 3 catches for $153 and a touchdown. He had 3 targets. It was perfect for Rashid. He was 3 for 3, 153 yards. He averaged over 51 yards per catch, and he had a touchdown. Michael Thomas, 4 catches off of 7 targets for 68 yards. Alvin Kamara, 4 catches off of 5 targets for 51 yards and a touchdown. Chris Olave, 5 catches off of 9 targets for 46 yards. Taysom had a catch for 14. Kendra had 1 for 9. Jamal had 1 for 9. And Jawan Johnson had 1 for 5 off of 2 targets. There, they talked about Carr fumble and a lost fumble. Demario Davis had 12 tackles in the matchup. Laddie Daddy was the second behind him. Saints got 2 sacks in the second half. One by Carl Granderson, the other one by Nate Shepard. You know, I thought Cam and him would split it, but they gave it to Carl Granderson. All right. Outside of that, man, pretty positive. The Saints defense have to really do better, man. I did not like how they played in the second half of the game, how they was allowing the offense of the Colts to move. That was just bad defense, just dumb defense. They wasn't thinking. You know, it was terrible. Rashid Shaheed, 4 returns on the punt for 46 yards, averaged 11.5 yards per punt. Blake Grupe, 1 for 1, but he was 5 for 5 in the extra points game. Lou Hetley was 4 punts for 158, averaged just under 40 yards per punt, and he put all 4 of them punts inside the 20-yard line. You want to talk about perfection. And, of course, we look at the Colts side of things. Gardner Minshew, 23 of 41 in the match. And we know the post game is firing up. We're gonna jump to the post game momentarily. But Gardner Minshew, 23 of 41 for 213. He averaged 5 yards per throw, 2 touchdowns and a pick, 2 sacks, 76.6 there. Jonathan Taylor, 12 carries for 95 yards. Jonathan Taylor had 90-something odd yards at half. The Saints did not allow him to get over 100 yards in the second half. The Saints locked that down. Zach Moss had 11 carries for 66 yards, so Zach Moss got some stuff going on. Saints pinpoint on Taylor. He had 1 rushing touchdown when he bent over backwards to get it. Gardner Minshew, they're saying that Gardner had 1 scramble for 3 yards, but he just really moved around in the pocket, moved around, bought time to look up the field and find people. That stuff shouldn't have happened. The Saints kept losing containment, and it's not like the guy is Lamar Jackson or anybody else, but the Saints really have to fix that. That was problematic. Josh Downs became a problem in the second half. He was targeted 9 times, caught 7 of them for 72 yards, averaged over 10 yards per catch, no touchdowns. Alec Pierce had 3 catches for 41 yards off of 5 targets. Michael Pittman, 8 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown in the game. Drew Ogletree, 1 catch for 33 and a touchdown in the back end zone. Moali Cox and the rest of those dudes had minimum stats in the game as well. All right. So anyway, to keep it moving, moving to the defensive side of things. Zaire Franklin, 14 tackles in the matchup. Shaq Leonard had 11. 1 sack was allowed by the Saints defense today, and that was before Buckner got the sack and the fumble. Isaiah McKenzie, not much shaking on the return game. Matt Gay was 2 for 2 kicking, and their kicker had 5 punts for 258 yards. He was very active in this game. And the Saints really, this should have been a blowout out of big-time capacity. But the Saints were able to get the W. They improved to 4-4 in the matchup. And, of course, a couple of games to talk about that's still going on before we bring in Pops Q to get some breakdown of his thoughts of the game. The Jets are tied up in overtime with the Giants, 10-10. Jets are marching with the ball. The Browns just started they're almost in the middle of the first quarter. You're looking at that, Matt. Well, they're centered the first quarter, 7-0. Seattle, Chiefs and Broncos, Ravens, Cardinals, Bengals, Niners, and Bears and Chargers yet to get underway. The Bears are the night game. Rams lost big time to the Cowboys, 43-20. Vikings get the win over the Pack, 24-10. They improved to 500. Falcons lost to the Titans, 28-23. Saints improve. You see us right there. The Patriots fall out of there, lose to the Dolphins. They're now 6-2. The Jaguars get a victory over the Steelers, 20-10. The Eagles get a dub over the Commanders, 38-31. They scored 21 points in the fourth quarter to pull the game out. The Panthers finally got a victory. They beat the Texans 15-13. And they get the kicker kicks it, and they get their first win of the season. Congratulations to the Carolina Panthers. And the game, of course, the Monday night matchup is the Raiders and the Lions. So this is going to be interesting for the black and gold, to be honest with you, man. We've done a wonderful job. Like I said, you guys stay right where you are. We're going to bring in the Dennis Allen momentarily. But right now, we're going to bring in Pops Q to the broadcast to kind of get his thought process on it. Pops Q, welcome on in, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing good, son. I was just, noting some of the points. The defense seemed like they rose to the occasion in the second half, but the first half they were getting gashed. They were running through some problems with the Colts, and that the key was the allowing Minshew, their Colts quarterback, to run. There was no gap protection, no run protection to protect the quarterback. I mean, no way to block the quarterback. There was nobody chasing him. They allowed him to scramble around and find guys open, or each scramble for yardage. Very similar to the game they played last week. They gave up so much yardage on the ground. That's something the Saints defense definitely have to, Dennis Allen, as he's the defensive coach, he definitely have to make corrections there to get those guys in the right position, keeping their eyes on the field, watching. You always got to remember, you got to keep your eyes on wherever the football go. That's where you go. So he's got to get that message to him, but I'm glad to see that they pulled the win out, and I'm looking forward to watching the next game that they got coming up. But I like I said, I'm glad to see them get a win, but they still got a lot to clean up.
Yeah, indeed, Pops. It was something interesting to watch today, what happened with the Saints, man. To be honest with you, the defense still needs to clean a few things up. We gave up scores we shouldn't have.
Yes.
The containment issues are problematic, but despite that, the Saints get the win. They improve. They get back to 500. The offense was really good, and I pinpointed the fact that the Saints had 36 rushing attempts in the game versus what happened with them. So 36 rushing attempts the Saints had versus 29, I think, passing attempts in the matchup, which is very good. The Saints did a wonderful job in this game by handling the business and doing what they were supposed to do. So offensively speaking, it still wasn't as pristine as we would like, but at the end, we get
to win.
It's a win.
Yeah.
Right. So and like I said, the key component of what I want to bring to the post-game show is the fact that the Saints ran the ball more than they passed the ball in this game. And I think that was key. It was so big for the Saints for them to do that, man. They did a wonderful job in executing and doing that. And I just think it was super terrific that the Saints was able to do that, man. They did a wonderful job doing that, mixing in Taysom Hill, mixing in Jamal Williams, mixing in Elvin Kamara, mixing in Kendre Miller. All those guys together, they used the full power of the running back room to be able to execute, and they did some real positive stuff out there to help the team get to where they belong. So, like I said, man, it's a very good game for the Saints today. We was able to make it happen and pop real positive. And like I said, it was very, very solid matchup in the game. And I can't talk too much about it, man. Talk enough about the Saints utilizing it. The last time we did this, where we actually ran the ball more than we passed, it was against the Patriots, and we dominated them. We need to go back to that. It took the Saints a while to understand that in order to win, you have to use it. You have to go through the running back room, and we finally got it, man, and we able to come back to it. Now, the defense got to clean it up, but in the end, the Saints did a lot of positive work in this game, man, to be honest with you. They really did.
Oh, yeah, sir. And also like to point out that they started using a fullback tight blocker in their offense, and that seemed to help to get the running game going. They need to diversify it a little bit more. You know, they finally start, like you said, giving people giving all the running backs the opportunity to touch the ball. You know, because the guy's coming in fresh, you run Kamara, and then and then I love what Jamal Williams did. He's a crash down power runner, and I'm surprised the Saints haven't been using him more, in the game, especially on first down, maybe first or second down. We didn't get the short field. I like the way they did the offense. They ran the offense today. The defense had its problems. But, I mean, I think eventually they're going to come around. I think the people involved with it are starting to understand how to play the game with the players that they have. I mean, they protected Carr very nicely today, giving up that one sack fumble. But other than that, he did pretty good.
Indeed, Pops. And like I said, we're waiting for Dennis Allen to pop up to the podium and talk his stuff. And shout out to Brent. Brent sent the cash app. Shout out to Brent. Thank you, man. He said, for DA, still a possum, but we strutting like a peacock.
I like that.
The monkey looks like a possum in the face. People say Pete Carmichael looks like a little mouse. Just put some whiskers on him. But shout out to you, Brent. Thank you for that. The possum is happy. He's strutting like a peacock. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much. Picking me up, bringing me back to this world.
All right, thank you, fam.
That was funny. That was a good one.
Oh man, that was too funny. All right, anyway, shout out to you, Brent. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. All right, yeah, the Saints improved, man. This is a good victory, Pops, going forward as we get ready. The man, listen, the Falcons lost today, so the Bucks lost, the Falcons lost, and Carolina, who doesn't impact us at all, they got a victory today. Credit to Carolina. They won 15-13. That's their first win of the season. I know they're happy to finally get off the snide right there and make something pop. So that's a very positive thing for them as well. Of course, the standings, man, if we look in the standings sitting up in the NFC South, with the move, the Saints are tied with the Atlanta Falcons for number one. So a lot of people like you, how that impact us. Let's put it on screen right here. You can see for yourself that the Saints right now are, let me see if I can kind of, there you go, kind of put it a little louder. Yeah? As you can see, the Saints tied with the Falcons for the division lead. Tampa Bay lost, and they fall back to where they belong. They're currently on a 3-game losing streak. The Saints get the dub, and yet we know from the perspective, the Atlanta Falcons are still in division 2-0. The Saints are 1-1, so that's why we fall behind them when they got the tie records. So that's how it is. So Atlanta and the Saints still tied. They tied. We share the lead right now currently, and we'll just have to wait and see how all that happens. We got to move forward and take on the next squad, which is who we got, the Bears. No, not the Bears. We got the Bears next. So we got the Bears followed by the Vikings. So we got to get ready for the Bears. And the Bears, I want to say the Bears lost. Did the Bears lose today? I want to make sure. I think the Bears coming off a loss. I'm gonna have to check. But yeah, it was. We got the Bears in the dome, and we got to be leery of it. And yeah, they play tonight. They play tonight on NBC. They're the night game. So Bears 2-5. They're trying to do a little something. And boy, I tell you, man, if we don't do something with the stopping of the Gardner Minshew thing, family, I think it's going to be a problem. Here's Dennis Allen, fan. Let's see what he got to say.
I think it's
one in the chat.
Third time since 2018 that, Saints offense has had 3 games of over 400 yards, so there's been good things that we've done. We just hadn't been able to capitalize on all those things. Obviously, we were much better in the red zone, in this game. And that, when you're scoring touchdowns in the red area instead of kicking field goals, that, usually puts your points up there a lot more. So thought we had some good explosive plays. I thought we ran the ball effectively. So there was a lot of things to like with what we did offensively. And yet I think there were still some plays out there. So, there's always things that you can get better at. It's not a real big secret, when you freaking block them, and you hit the right hole, then usually it's effective. And if you don't block them, then it's usually not very effective. So I thought we did a better job of blocking them down there today. Yeah, look, he's been highly effective for us. That package down there has been effective for us. And so we got to get into that position a lot more often. And then I think, we'll utilize that package as we see fit. I thought he ran the offense well. I thought there was a lot of really good things that he did. I thought, there was a mix of huddle, tempo, a lot of different things that we incorporated into the offense. I thought, Pete and those guys on the offensive staff, I thought they did a hell of a job putting together a great plan. I thought our players went out and executed it. And that's really, kind of the secret to having success is put together a good plan and guys go out and execute that plan. Yeah, look, I thought he did a good job of reading some things out and getting the ball out to the right people. I know we're going to look back at the tape and there's going to be a few plays where we'd love to have it back, but I thought overall, what I thought about our offense, I felt like there was a rhythm to what we were doing offensively, and that was good to see. Yeah, look, it's no fun. It's just it's a GI bug that's kind of been going through the group a little bit. We had a few players that kind of popped up with it over the last, call it 24 hours. So hopefully it kind of runs its course. It's about kind of a 12 to 24 hour, where you don't feel very good for a little while and then you kind of get back to normal. So. Yeah, look, the biggest thing, with Marcus is that he really wasn't able to practice this week. So, and I think that's the great thing about having, some depth in our secondary is that we feel confident that guys can step in there and play and perform at an acceptable level. So, I'll look at the tape and kind of determine exactly how well, he did. I know there's a few plays that, didn't sit well with me, but I think overall he did a pretty nice job. Yes. I couldn't tell you exactly what the number, but there was a handful of guys that, weren't feeling great.
What's the biggest area of growth you think you take to develop a more all-around receiver?
Look, I don't think we're there yet. I think there's still a lot of meat left on the bone in terms of what we need to be able to do and what he can do. Obviously, his explosiveness down the field is probably his biggest trait, and his ability to, like, I can think in the last few weeks, Houston being one, the play today, where he goes and makes a play on the football and high points the ball. So there's some of that I'm seeing that I really like. I think it's all the little bitty intricacies and the little bitty details that he's still got to improve on. But his speed and explosiveness makes him really difficult to cover. Yeah, I would think so. I couldn't tell you who the players are in our league, but I bet you it's a small number. And I bet there's a lot of recognizable names in terms of guys that have that many 40-plus yard receptions. So, and look, not only does that benefit us, being able to get the ball to him down the field, but it opens up a lot of other things in the passing game when you got a guy that has that type of threat. Yeah, that was huge. That was huge. And so it was one that went our way, which was good to see. I don't know that I stood up here and said that very often. So it was good to get one.
Dennis, did Carr in this offense need a game like this?
I think we all needed a game like this. There's been a lot of talk about the offense, but like we needed to win, and we got one. We got one as a team. And so, there was a lot to like. There were some things that weren't, up to our standard. And so, look, we're going to enjoy this, and then we got to get back to work, and we got another, big game this week against Chicago coming into our place. Well, look, I think it was 3rd and 13 on that particular play, so it was going to take something down the field. We got a one-on-one matchup with Shaheed, and, we took the one-on-one matchup. Shaheed won.
You talked earlier this week about pulling the number of plays per situation, simplifying the offense.
Well, look, I would just say that I felt like our guys were much more on point with the execution of the plan, this week. And so, it just stands to reason that, if you have 25 plays instead of 50 plays, it's a lot easier to be on point with all the little bit details that go along with each play. So, I thought that was part of the success. Well, probably initially when Adam Prentice went down, and so then you start looking at, okay, who on your team, can kind of fill that role in certain situations. And look, he thinks he's a running back anyway. So, we put him in there and make him feel like he's a running back, and then we don't give him the ball. We make him go block somebody. So, but it was, that's pretty much the inspiration for why we put him back there. No, there's not a nickname for that package. It's, just a normal goal line package. Yeah, look, I think he's in a good spot. There's ups and downs with young players. I'm not worried about Chris Olave. I think he's going to be a big part of, what we're able to do hopefully successfully as we go down the stretch here. So he's going to be a big part of our offense. And look, he made some big plays for us today. Yeah, he just lost the ball there. I mean, he ran a hell of a route, and then just kind of couldn't find the ball coming out of it.
After this week you had a lot of discussion, players meeting with each other. It's like, as a head coach, is that initiated by you, players kind of getting together on offense? And how they respond?
Well, look, I'd say there's probably a combination. There were some conversations that obviously I initiated. There was obviously conversations that were initiated, amongst the players. I think we got a pretty veteran group, and they know that, there's a standard that we hold ourselves to, and we hadn't been playing to that standard. So we went to work to try to fix it. You guys good? All right, that's all I got. Okay, Cam.
I try to put something together. I do it for those who refuse to, Everybody could rock this color. They just choose not to. Good watch, good pocket square. It all comes together, right? Hi, all 7 of us. Let's do this.
How do you feel about the way the team performed?
With every win or loss, there's lessons to be learned. I think that our defense got gashed on the second series, which we started out quick. We needed to stay hot to get that series back. I think it'll be even a better win for us. I think we were able to get to the quarterback a lot, just another week of him changing up sets and getting the ball out faster than usual. But I think we ended up with 2 sacks. There was a sack by me and Grando, and then a sack by one of our interior. Got to be Shep. Definitely, yeah, definitely Shep. He had a great spin by, grabbed him, and I wish we would have had more. So we got to keep on hunting. I was just complaining. I was like, Carl jumped on my sack. I said, I got to split that. Someone's going to probably correct me, and they're going to give it to Carl. I was like, at this point, I'm just fighting an uphill battle. It's about the wins. That's what we're here for. Well, so the first carry he probably had like 6, and then the second tote he went for that 60 something, which helped all the other carries. Just eliminate the overplaying of gaps, getting back to playing our ball. One thing seeing on film versus playing them, their O-line I think did a good job of trying to be position blockers early in the game. And once we understood that concept, we knew we had to stay in our gaps, and everything came to fruition as we needed it to. All right, great. I think we had a great job. Good job, guys.
In true Cam Jordan fashion, he decides when he starts and when he stops.
All right, shout out to the fam, man. You seen Cam there talking, and I'm pretty sure they'll have some other guys that'll chime in. But while we listening, man, shout out to the family members that did the super chats. Brother Omar, he said, "Didn't I tell you DC will be fine?" Yeah, he good in this one, man. He was kind of sick, man. The offense, but it's like we're saying, we just got to stick to what works. The Saints have to run the ball. They use everybody in a running room, which was what we need to do. And this was not something that's new. He said that during the press conference when we was looking to get some of these running backs. He's like, we want to run the ball, be a power running unit, and everything should have been a back of it. We talked about during the season is that the running room should be how you win games. Saints today used the rushing attack. They ran it more, had more attempts running the ball than they did throwing the ball. It was a positive. They used everybody, and that was a big dub. So shout out to you, Omar. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Far too kind.
Also, shout out to Black Preacher Man said it will be a shootout. Didn't say we were going to lose. It turned out to be that way. Really, it shouldn't have been that way. It should have been. We should have beat this team. What is it? 30. What was it? 38. We should have beat them 38-17. We should have beat them 38-17. The field goal before halftime kind of peeved me because it was bull, and then the defense allowed these people to score and make it closer than what it actually. We should have beat this team 38-17 today, for real. But anyway, true that. Thank you.
Thank you. Far too kind.
So shout out to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all being in the stream, man. It is what it is, man. We got the dub. We share the division currently with the Atlanta Falcons. We tied up with them after their loss. They're now 4-4. Saints are 4-4. Says Q. Why don't we leapfrog those guys? Well, we can't leapfrog them. They got a better division record than we do. They are 2-0 in the division. The Saints are 1-1. I mean, it is what it is. All right. So anyway, with that being said, man, we got the Chicago Bears coming in, but for right now, we're going to sit back and enjoy this dub. We're getting right. All right. T-Mom says Captain Cleanup was out there. Yeah, he's doing his thing. All right, here's Taysom Hill, fan. We're going to bounce back to Taysom Hill here. What do you got to say about the game?
Fun too. You see him in the huddle. Yeah, look, we've been talking for the last however many weeks offensively. Like we're this close, and we had some silly things the last few weeks, penalties that have killed some drives, and I felt offensively we were right on the brink of a game like this. So to answer your question, it was good to finally put it all together. It gives us a lot of confidence moving forward. Yeah. I mean, I think, look, from the beginning, our expectations were be able to, score like this, right? I think historically, like we've been moving the ball, but we haven't obviously been scoring as much as we should have. So, look, I think it's nice as an offense to see everything come together. And so that's the expectation. It's everybody, coming together and doing their job and their responsibility. And, that's the result. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, we didn't know how they were going to adjust, to me at halftime. And we kind of felt like they might be a little bit more aggressive. And they were. And so we, wanted to take a shot. And, she, for as fast as he is, and the dude plays the ball, as good as anyone I've been around. So when you get a look and an opportunity like that, you're going to let him, go up and make a play. And man, he did. And I was certainly grateful. Yeah, communication was good, and look, I think we talk about the details and putting it all together. And, I know that we had a few false starts there that killed a few drives, but all in all, I felt like all of those little details, communication being at the head of that, came together, and, we played very well. All right. I'll let Derek talk.
Gosh, it feels good to freaking smile. Let's go. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, especially especially in the red zone. We had been moving the ball. Whether we threw it, ran it, doesn't matter. We did it all in all kind of ways today, and that's exciting for us. So it feels good, and it's exciting. Some of the stuff we talked about over the weekend and all that kind of stuff, we did better at the end of the game, and like I told y'all earlier this week, I think we're getting better, and I'm just happy that the fruits of that showed up. You never know how long it takes and all that kind of stuff. Now the word's just being consistent with what we're doing. I think so. It was needed, when especially for myself, when I'm at one place for 9 years, if I get banged up or hurt something, everyone in that building knew I was playing that Sunday. If I, got upset or, something like that, they knew where my heart was coming from and all that. I could rely on that, whereas I'm in a new place and new things are happening. You got to prove yourself. You got to help guys understand where you're coming from, help guys build the relationship. And that's something that I just felt like the Lord put on my heart to do better this week. And, I thought some of that showed up today, and try not to be so emotional. If a bad play happened, and just keep it pushing and talk about it and move on. And I was really proud of how we handled that kind of stuff too. Yeah, oh yeah, the exciting ones, the exciting time. Yeah, I was trying to. I've always said, like I always told you, I try my best to stay here, but sometimes on those big plays, I get real excited. Even on runs, like I see someone's block, I'll just go nuts. I just love that stuff, and so. That part I was good with, but the negative stuff, I just try to be more upbeat and positive. Knowing that we still had a lot of game left to play, and so I thought we handled our body language and those kind of things better this week. Well, Pete trusted us, again with that. It was something that we talked about that we liked during the week, and. I had got to that situation. I told him, going into those last couple of drives, I was like, Pete, that's a call I like, because he's always asking me. It's not like it's a new thing, he's always asking. I was like, I like this one. And honestly, I was even thinking Chris, but, the safety stayed more on this hash and allowed Sheed, versus Press to go win and make a huge play for us. And what a day that guy had. I think well, we won, that always helps, a lot of the things look better, and we did better in the red zone. We were moving the ball, right now. And I say for the past couple of weeks, we've been moving the ball well, but we finished today, and, like I had told, everybody before, like I told you guys earlier this week on Wednesday, I feel like we're getting better, even though the whole world was falling down. I was like, inside our building, we're getting better. We're communicating. We're talking about things. And I thought that showed today. And that was the thing too, is like me and Jameis were talking, like, it's cool that we won this game, especially after the communication and conversations that we had relationally and all those kind of things. To see it come to fruition today was cool. I just, like I had said before, when I was at one place no, you're fine. I was at one place for 9 years. If I was hurt, no one even asked if I was playing. If I came, if I yelled or if I was upset or if I did something, they knew where I was coming from. And I felt like it was really important for me in a new place that I felt the Lord put on my heart. Like I needed to, describe what I'm thinking, what I'm seeing, communicate better, and not just rely on 9 years in a place that wasn't this place. And so that takes time, that takes relationship, but like me and AK said, like we're standing on our sideline, we knew it'd take time, but our demand won't change. Like we want it to happen now. Mm.
How much of that, early on may have left some struggles and some criticism and then realization that we were different, no one embraced it. How much of that kind of came together today?
Yeah, well, a lot came together today. I thought we finished better in the red zone. I felt like we've been moving the ball, running it, throwing it, however. But it did. I mean, we, to go whatever we went percentage-wise in the red zone, it was great, and that's huge for us. And so, just like I said before, I'm in a new place, but I can't rely on almost a decade of just like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, why do I even have to explain myself? Like I knew that it was important for me to just have those conversations so people could understand my heart and where I'm coming from. And I'm never personal. Like I genuinely love all my teammates. I'd do anything for them. And so I'm just happy we were able to win so that could, come to fruition. Yeah. So it was just a play we had liked during the week. It was a great plan by, RC, Pete, DJ, and, the offensive staff. Like, they're like, hey, we like this look and this route. And I said, well, me too, and it was a play at the end of the game, Pete always comes up to me, hey, I'm thinking this. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? And that was a play in the fourth quarter I said that I had liked, and he went to it. And, because he came up with it, so it was good.
There was something about your processing today that was a little quicker. Did you feel like you were getting rid of it quicker or feeling it quicker today?
No, I just felt like we finished in the red zone today. I felt like we've been moving the ball really well, for a couple weeks now. But I wish I could say yes to you to help you, but I don't. I feel comfortable, and in the sense of playing quarterback, and all those kind of things. Well, I mean, we have a lot of playmakers, and I thought Pete did a great job of just putting us in positions, and give it, and you get a guy like AK in space, on matchups and those kind of things, and getting Chris on this route and Sheed on this, and I thought they did a great job, great plan, and our guys executed the plan. I thought we executed the plan, but I thought all 11 guys at a time, and there's mistakes out there. We can find those all the time, but I thought for the most part, all 11 guys played complementary to each other on offense. AK can, run a great run, but if I miss a throw, or run a great route, but if I miss it, oh well. So it goes that way for everybody. But I thought we complemented each other with good plays after good plays. Yep. Yeah, I can't believe he almost had it. I really gave him a chance, and looking back at it, I was like, yeah, I could have dumped. AK probably felt I could have got that one to him too. Give him another one. But Jawan down the middle. That's a throw we've made in training camp and in practice and things like that. So I felt comfortable cutting it loose, and he still almost had it. But having him back, made a big third down catch for us on a little end break, 5 yards. And that's a huge play for us to keep the chains going. But it was great to have him back for sure.
Carol, this one that you guys, the 500 yards at 38 points, just for confidence and momentum and all those things. This is when you needed a game like this.
I can help you with this one. Yes. Yeah, I think yes. I think it was good because, we have a lot of young players. We also have a lot of guys that have played a lot of football. And, usually when you play a lot of football, you know how this thing goes. If you just keep working, everybody's doing the right thing, you'll end up having a day like that, But sometimes, some guys haven't experienced much. Like, gosh, what's happening? And I thought today was a great example of just us continuing to work, us continue to trust and come together. Which we're still going to keep doing this week. Keep coming together, keep trusting each other, keep just trying to do our job. It's that simple. But yeah, I felt like we needed that because I thought we did a great job of in the week going like this. So then the fruition of it, having points and having yards and all that, it feels good. Thank you. Always protecting.
One of the young guys, he's there.
Yep. Yeah. We've seen a lot of great things from AT in practice. I mean, he's an amazing receiver, amazing talent. His scout team cornerback abilities are very poor, though. He holds the script in his hand, and sometimes he doesn't get that part right. But he's a rookie, so I got to give him a hard time. But I think the world of AT. I really do. I think he's a great player, and he has a chance to play in this league a long time. Yeah, thanks.
It was big. I think feel good when you can go out there and kind of execute. I think what we've been missing is that kind of third down. Really third down and red zone execution, and it felt good to kind of get that going today and have some good looks in the red zone and convert and be able to end drives with touchdowns. So we're looking to build off of it. Still wasn't perfect. Still wasn't where we feel like we're capable of being, but it's a good start. I think it was positive today. Because we can do it. You know what I'm saying? We just got to do it. So it was good to rip some of those runs off down there. The O-line did their thing. I think anytime we can get them going and get them kind of juiced up with the run game, I mean, shoot, we the offense opens up, so they did a good job today. I just carried the ball. Oh yeah, man. Taysom. That's like Taysom. is like the equivalent to the tush push. He kind of, he like it's what's coming, and it's like you can't stop it. So, I mean, that's what Taysom does. He get in there, he don't complain. It's if it's a hard run, he going. If it's one of them easy ones, he going. So, it's good to have that kind of in our Rolodex and be able to get that off when we need to. You said who? Colin. Oh, Kalen. Yeah. Bink. Oh yeah, man. Bink crazy, dog. Bink. Look, if we let Bink change his number to 41, whatever, 41, 49, man. Look, Bink will play running back if we let him. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, he's an athletic dude, and it's part of that is just wanting to do it, and he wants to do it. Like I think that's part of the reason he's in that package, because he was campaigning for it for so long and just talking. He was just talking, like annoying almost. Like, man, put me in there. And they was like, all right, come on. Today, he got three or four in a row, and it's a little different when you really got an offensive, you got an offensive drive going. Like he usually come in for one and go out. He was in there for three. He was like, it was flying, it was moving fast. I'm like, yeah, but. I mean, it's good to be able to have Bink in there. I mean, he got a good feel for it. He knows what he's doing. So, I mean, he's just a pro. The vibe was we need to get a win. The vibe is like the vibe area. Sunday, we want to go out and execute, and some Sundays we fall short. Some Sundays it comes together. It came together today. I mean, I still feel like we missed on a lot. You know what I'm saying? There's still more out there. I'm happy about the win always, but I'm always looking for the extra. Like we got some plays that we could have hit. I don't know. Chris must have seen. I don't know what he saw when that ball went up, but that's a good one. And then I know he was talking about. Derek was talking about the one with Jawan in the end zone. I mean, we've seen Jawan make that play. It was good coverage, but we still want that one. What else? We had some false starts that kind of took us back in the drive. It's still a lot out there. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's a good day. But you look at the film and then you're like, man, we still got more. So just we gotta keep going. Just keep going, like I've been saying. We got the Bears next. That's what I'm looking at. So, hopefully we go in. Well, not hopefully. This week we're going and get back to work, rinse and repeat, and then see if we can go 1-0, and then we'll worry about the next opponent the next week. Yeah. I like that no linebacker can cover me when we call it. So, I think. No, it's just been trying to get that kind of back into our offense and back up. And, Derek likes the call. I think as an offense, I think we like the call. It's just getting the right looks and getting out there and getting in position to be able to call those. Sometimes in my head, I'm like, man, we need to just call it and just rip it. But, you can't do that with every play and just force it. So I'm happy we got one off. Hopefully the offensive staff goes upstairs and just puts that on the call sheet next week. So it was good though. I ain't have what everybody else got. I don't know what they had. They got something. Everybody got diarrhea and stuff. I ain't had that. I just had a little respiratory, but it's cool. I mean, once you've been in this league for a minute, it's like the preparation is the preparation. I can miss a day, 2 days, and kind of just pick up where I left off, or just pick up right where everybody's at and be up to date and up in tune. So, you got to be a pro about it. You got to keep working. Yeah, man. I like when we can get work the middle of the field. You got Mike, you got Olave, you got Rasheed, and then you got Jawan, and obviously Foster, and then Jimmy when he's up going. We got players that can attack the middle of the field, and we have ball players that can attack the middle of the field. So to see it and to put it on film is good. We just got to build on it, and keep getting to those plays and getting to those looks. I mean, we got dudes that can win, so a lot of these plays are just about winning. So to win, you got to call it. And, I think just putting faith in, our play calling one, and then the players that are running these plays to be like, man, go out there and win. You just got to go in and get the ball, and let's do it again and keep moving. Because I mean, it's a matchup league, and I think since I've been here, this is one of the most talented groups that we have as far as matchup wise. Like I don't see a defense that I'm worried about, as far as matchup go. You know what I'm saying? Like they just got to bring their best and hope they can beat us. We won. It was good. I don't have like a big elaborate I guess spiel on that. It's just he did what he had to do. We did our job and we got to win. Oh yeah, I just ain't have what everybody else had. They had that little shit bug. I don't know. Yeah, I know it. Oh, I get IVs every week, but I did.
That was AK-41 and several others that started having issues sound-wise, so we had to cut it. But shout out to the fan. Appreciate y'all being in the stream. Much love to y'all, man. Saints, as you see the banner right there, Saints saddle Colts in victory. We take care of the business, man, in a really good way. And we move on to the Chicago Bears matchup that'll be coming up. And it was a good win by the Saints. We still were able to do a lot of positive things in this matchup. A lot of stuff still to improve on, to be honest with you. But, we got the dub, 38-27, man, in this one. So shout out to all y'all. Appreciate y'all being in the stream. All right, Pops Q, what do you think about me bringing you in here, man? I know you want to finish breaking down some game. What do you think about some of the interviews heard from Carr and Dennis Allen and several others about this game? They were able to figure it out. Let's get some insight.
It seems like they're beginning to figure out how to play the players that they have, and how to use them. They haven't been using them in the way they could use them. You're running one or two guys for the whole game, and then you're just wearing them out. You got multi-talented places and pieces that just like a chess game. Multi-talented. You know which pieces to use to win the game with. They ran the ball pretty good today. They ran it pretty well. And there was some great long shots down the field that Carr took. I believe he seems like he's come from a system where they like to throw the ball. They like to throw the long ball. So it might be part of his adaptation to this system where there's a run past 50-50 option that he has. He had that opportunity to run when he gets to, he can actually run the plays that he see fit. If he thinks it's going to work. If the one that is sent in by the offensive coordinator may not work, he may feel that it'll work for him. He has that ability to make that play work. But I think I see some improvement in what they were doing. They lost the game last week, but there were some improvements. They must control the mistakes. They make too many mistakes, incompletions, the overthrows. That happens in football, but I mean, you got to be able to, like you always say, how you got to you do your reads. Make sure you make it, to look over your people and making sure you get the ball to the right one. And the great quarterbacks do that. They know where to go with the ball. But I'm looking forward to them against Chicago. Chicago's not playing very well. So this should be an easy win. If they learned anything from this game, they should be able to handle Chicago and come out with a victory next week.
All right. Yeah, I also think, this is something to improve upon. They did a pretty decent job in this matchup, to be quite honest with you, fam. They were able to handle the business. Defensively, I was a bit disappointed with the defense allowing these plays, allowing Gardner Minshew to continue to stretch out plays and make plays up the field. I got tired of that. Got tired of seeing that happen. They need to do a better job of fixing that moving forward, because that's not very positive to see something like that happen with the defense. So hopefully they can fix that. But moreover, I just love the fact that the Saints really, and once again, what's the key here before we get ready to end the stream? Number one, hit the like button, family. Hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share the show on your social media feed. I think that if I were full Cole is hitting on it, man. Shout out to you, brother. He says Q. Carr had 27 pass attempts. That's perfect for this offense. I said that, family. I said that several weeks back. I kept telling family members from my perspective that, hey, man, listen, Carr shouldn't be throwing the ball anywhere between maybe 25 to 30 times a game. It shouldn't be 40 plus 50 something. You're not going to win that way. He's just not, he doesn't know the offense well enough for you to do that. And if you're throwing that much, something's wrong. So that's what I was saying. Between 25 to 30 attempts is where the line should be, where you don't wear him out. And remember, he's still coming up off the injury, still trying to get right there. So that's what I was hitting on. Really, the big sticking point to this matchup was the fact that the Saints were able to operate by running the ball. They did the same thing in the Patriots matchup. The same thing, not as, and we could have beat the teams a lot more than what we did in the Patriots matchup. And, let me just kind of bounce back to, let me share this with y'all. This is from the Patriots game several weeks back where the Saints blanked them 34-0. We knew the Patriots was a bad team. We knew that. But if you look at how the Saints defeated the Patriots, you could take something away from it. You can look at it and see that the Saints in the game against the Patriots, they did this. The Saints ran the ball 42 times. They ran the ball 42 times. They gathered 136 yards. And they did that versus 26 pass attempts. So you had 42 rush attempts versus 26 pass attempts. The rushing game led the day. They had 42. So far, that's the season lead right there. In this game against the Colts, the Saints were able to effectively kind of do this thing. They had more yardage. I think that's the most yards the Saints rushed this year up to this point, 161 yards off of 36 attempts, a 4.5 average. Look with the rush attempts, 36 versus 29 passing attempts, and all of those wasn't Carr. Carr pass attempts, he had 27. Just remember, Taysom had a couple of them. So when the Saints operate like that, when the Saints operate where they able to run the ball more than they pass the ball, they win. And the reason why the lead looked like this is because the defense surrendered points it wasn't supposed to. There wasn't supposed to be a field goal on the back end of the first half. For the first half ended, it wasn't supposed to be a field goal. The Saints defense allowed them. They were poor in containing the quarterback for the Colts, Minshew. He was able to get him down the field to get a field goal. The play where he threw a touchdown in the fourth quarter was on the Saints defense because the line allowed him to improvise and move outside, where he extended the play, giving the wide receiver or the tight end in the end zone room to make the throw or get behind there so he can make the catch in the back of the end zone. If he was contained to the pocket, he could not make that throw from that angle. He couldn't do it because they had the defensive backs there, would have been intercepted. So allowing him to leak out like what he did is not a positive thing for the Saints. The Saints have to do something about it. That was Gardner Minshew that they allowed to scramble around and do that to him. When they feel or see tougher quarterbacks that have that ability, the Saints going to have to neutralize that. They can't allow that kind of junk to happen, man. They can't allow that to happen. So in the end, that's the big sticking point that I got, family. And I correlate both the Patriots matchup, which was a blowout. This was supposed to be a blowout, but nonetheless, we got the win. But notice how you're getting the wins and understand that the way to do it is through the rushing attack. The Saints allow all of their damn rushers, all of them. We talking Taysom Hill, Kendre Miller, all of them to get involved in the game. All of them. Taysom Hill led the way. It was 63 yards off of 9 carries. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. Elvin had a rushing touchdown on 55 yards rushing. Jamal Williams averaged 5 yards a rush on 6 carries. Kendre Miller had a couple of yards rushing in there. So the Saints, what they did was they used the entire running back room, Hill, Kamara, Williams, and Kendre Miller, to put up 161 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. So at the end, that's my little takeaway from this is the Saints have an identity. They have an identity. And they should, identify the fact that they do have an identity by saying, hey, man, we're a running team. We're a running team, and we need to stick to the run. The 3-headed running back monster, really a 4-headed running back monster, if you think about it. If you had Taysom in the mix, nobody could do nothing with that. When you got guys like that, the Saints are severely fortunate to have a Taysom, to have a Elvin, to have a Kendre, to have a Jamal Williams who's averaging 5 yards a rush. Man, listen, this is the way to win. And because those guys were running the ball like that in the matchup, the Saints had opportunities to take shots downfield to Chris Olave and guys like Rashid Shaheed, who seemed like they were there all the time. Reason being because they had to pay attention to the run. They had all those guys, Taysom running up there. Them people had to designate resources up to the line of scrimmage to stop the Saints from running the ball. And when they did that, the Saints had opportunities to get downfield with explosive plays. So if you keep using that philosophy, you'll get a lot more of explosive plays because you're basically setting up the play action. That's what it is. They keep inching closer to the line of scrimmage, and then when you do that, you got opportunities to go up top their head. That's how Rashid Shaheed was 4 yards ahead of his defender and past the safeties. It's because of that. They got to keep doing that. That's the way to do it. Now, can the Saints take this game plan and keep using it week to week? They could beat the Bears in the Dome with this philosophy. They could. They can't have any turnovers, and Derek Carr has to continue. The best way to help Carr win is to take the ball out of his hands by putting it in somebody else's hands. That's Alvin Kamara, that's Kendre Miller, that's Jamal Williams, that's Taysom Hill. And remember, on a couple of those drives, they took Carr out and set him on the sideline, and Taysom went and got the touchdowns. So that's how you win right now until Derek Carr catches up. Eventually, he will catch up. But for right now, the only way to win these games right now is through the power of the rushing attack. They the ones that help sponsor these deep throws because the defense had to get close to the line of scrimmage. They had to designate resources to stop the Saints from running the ball, and that's when you get one-on-one opportunities to take shots over their damn head. So we just got to keep doing it. You don't take Neil deGrasse Tyson to come to fly to New Orleans and go and stand up and hold to talk about football physics. We don't need that. Save that. This is a simple game. We just need to operate the run. The offensive line did a better job of blocking. We got to cut down on the penalties and all that other stuff, and we should be fine. We had one turnover today, which was the Derek Carr sack stripped, which they scored off of, but everything else the defense has to clean up. I didn't like totally that performance. They have to clean that up. And outside of that, man, it's something that you can look at and improve upon. So the offense has an identity. We are a running team that operates the pass off the run. We knew that all the time, but they didn't know it. Now they do. Hopefully that's what they stick with. So anyway, with that being said, fam, listen, Pops, I'm gonna give you a last word to chime in on that, man. What you think about what I said before we get ready to run from the fam? Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all being here too.
Let's go Saints. We just got to keep on. I think it's still a learning process. I realized that. I was thinking about some of the past games that Carr has started for us, and he made some bad mistakes, but he's learning, and he put together a kind of complete game. You know, they had a couple of drops, Olave, but that's okay. They're going to learn from that. I think they're going to get better as time going. I'm seeing they start to execute a lot better. So I'm bidding them that they can continue to do well. I'm looking forward to the season.
Yeah, me too, Paul. At the end of the day, man, I just think overall, you know, I'm happy for the win. We get back to 500. It's so frustrating right now that we 8 weeks in, but we are 4-4 team. We're a 500 team. It's so frustrating because we know we're greater than this. But hopefully, all of this is not for naught. What I mean by that is that hopefully the Saints, with all of the stuff they went through the up to this 8-game point, that all of this stuff that they were going through, hopefully this fire forges them and makes them a real team. Because usually adversity is supposed to do that. But also it's how you handle adversity too. Like it's a certain thing about being poised as a quarterback, making mistakes, but at the same time, when things come through, you honor out, you do what you're supposed to do, you improve and you go forward. Everybody makes mistakes, but at the end of the day, can you learn from the mistakes? And you know, like I said, our best behavior is sometimes not attributed when we're having good time and fortune. You really are tested when you don't have those things. When you are dealing with life's adversities, when you don't have all the money you need, you don't have that, you don't have this, you feel like you're supposed to be this way or that way. How do you handle that walk? How do you handle it? Do you poise yourself and just kind of think about what you need to do better? Do you become more disciplined? Do you become more of a solution-oriented person and less one that complains? You see what I'm saying? How do you handle that adversity is key to success in life, throughout life, and that applies to every thing that we do in life, whether it's football or walking in space some damn well. It all applies. All right, Terry, shout out to you. Says, should Minnesota trade for Jameis? Every time a quarterback hurt, people talk about Jameis, and they could probably imply about Jameis, but we're not going to get rid of Jameis, bro. No, we're not going to trade him. We're not going to get rid of Jameis because, it doesn't benefit us for us to trade Jameis Winston. We got a QB scare. The guy got hurt, slammed down several weeks back. And Jameis Winston was there just in case. That's what he's there for. Jameis is there because if something, God forbid, happens to Derek Carr, Jameis can step in and do that. A lot of people can't say that. A lot of people have to rely on rookies and other guys that don't know their system. Jameis been here for 3 years. He knows the Saints system. He's sitting where he's supposed to be. And even though they might come and ask about him, we don't trade him unless they make it past. And they're not going to give you a first or second round draft pick to get him. I guarantee you that for a 1 year rental on the player. They're not going to do that. So Jameis stays. That's my book. But people going to probably acquire every time a quarterback get hurt. They're trying to say, go get him. All right. So anyway, all right. Shout out to the fam, man. RB says we got a chance at the Super Bowl if we keep playing like today. Cleaning up everything, doing what we're supposed to do. I hate to say the clean up stat, the fact about cleaning up all the time and all that, because kind of, make fun of Dennis Allen for always saying that because they don't have nothing else to say. But the reality is the Saints defense is better than what it's exhibiting, and I just hope, and I don't use hope and say, Q, there you go with that hopium. But listen, all I'm saying is what they're doing, they can do what they can do. They are dominant. That this is a very talented team. They're intelligent. We just need, and you make mistakes, but you do just enough to win games. You execute, you get the game, you get the win, you move on. Some of the games not going to be as sharp or well-rounded if you want them. A lot of them going to have some blemishes in them. A lot of them going to stink. A lot of them going to look a little funk. But at the end of the day, do you win the game? And that's a part of the game, part of the dynamic. Right now through week 8, and we still got 2 weeks before the bye week, we got the Chicago Bears in the Dome and then the Minnesota Vikings in their building before the bye, and then after that, Atlanta. So we get into that point of the year where we're there, and that's when things have to really start shaking for the Saints. So we're just hoping that a lot of adversity that we've seen happen from the New Orleans Saints up to this point all is a catalyst for them galvanizing and becoming a real team and moving into the rest of the season as a complete team, understanding what their philosophy is from an offensive standpoint and making things work. So hopefully they figure that out, man. That's all I can say about it. All right, so anyway, with that being said, fam, I'm going to get out on that. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all for being in the building. Thank y'all, man, for all the stuff that y'all do and how y'all doing it, man. Please feel free to hit the like button. I appreciate the family members for chiming in on the stream. Once again, we'll return later on. We'll talk some more Saint stuff. Monday, we'll be back, too, to kind of recap and do a little bit of something else. We're going to cover all this stuff and more. So with that being said, shout out to you guys. Thank you for being here. And I'm going to holler at you on the flip side. Also, family, feel free, man. Feel free. Let me kind of sprinkle some game on y'all about the new merch that we got out. This is some new merch that we got out, family. We're also doing a little sale on it right now. If y'all want to check it out, it's at the Pro Shop. We got a sale going on right now. It's not going to last forever, but it is available at the Pro Shop right now. You can check it out. We got a flash sale knocking 10% off the No Excuses, the No Excuses shirts that come in black and white, long sleeve. They come in sweaters, men, women. They got something for the children in there as well. They got hats and all kind of stuff going on that's under this collection. It's a collection called the New Orleans No Excuses. It says New Orleans, but No Excuses collection. And we also have a Pelican style that's going to be coming out soon. We're going to be having the Show Me shirts that'll be coming out too as well. All that's coming up. But for right now, y'all check out this. It should be pinned to the bottom of the description section, or you can simply go to the community section of the page and look up the No Excuses gear and be able to check it out, man. So with that being said, that helps, and all that helps out the stream family to continue to do all of the work that we've been doing for years and to be steady and thorough and continue to help. So those type of things help us out in the end. So anyway, the Saints saddled the Colts 38-27. They improved to 4-4. They're tied with the Atlanta Falcons for number 1 in the NFC South. And the Falcons, they lose it because they're 4-4 too. So we're tied with them. And we got the Bears coming up next. So with that being said, I'm going to get out on that. Appreciate all of y'all for being in the building. Much love to the fam. Who dat? And I'm out.
Yeah. Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Running like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Saints Central, your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the that's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section.